So one of the great events we have coming up is the opening of our new high school. The High School Building Committee has had as one of its members since its inception, Selectman Howe. And we have with us the Compass Management Project team. So I'd like to turn the meeting over to Ms. Howe to give us an overview. I asked for this part of the meeting and put it on early because all of us, I think, are getting questions from members of the public. And of all of the things that are happening in the town for all of us to be proud of and see it as often as we can, I think the new high school is probably at the top of the list. So, Ms. Howe?
Sure, and I'm just going to kind of turn over to Dom from our owner's project manager and to our representatives from Consigli. But essentially, they're going to present on the status of the project so far, give an update from the last time that we met, and sort of explain what's going to happen next, basically giving an overview of the current schedule, as well as the budget, and some of the more detailed things that they're working on now, such as the furniture, fixtures, and equipment, and IT, as well as provide a quick overview of the ribbon cutting that we'll see happening on August 26th. So I'll turn it over to Dom, and he can provide the update here with his presentation.
Thank you, Christine. You want to stand there, Kyle? I think you may have to share the microphone. Good evening. Thank you for having us. The last time, I think it was about 6 months ago, I believe. A lot has happened since that 6-month period. A lot of hard work has been put in. I think you've met the DRA team at one time. I think the last time it was TJ and myself, TJ Recupero, our chair of the school building committee. Today I felt that it was important to meet the construction managers, Consigli Construction. They're represented here by Kyle Raposo. Kyle is our superintendent of the project. Kyle's been with the job since we broke ground in June of 2017. Andrew McNeil is our project manager. Andrew has also been with the project pretty much from that period on. Also, we've had Matteo Battista. You may have seen him in previous. Matteo couldn't make it this evening. And I also I did talk to Chairman Recupero. He did have a conflict. He let me know about 10 minutes ago, not 10 minutes ago, about 20 minutes ago. Feels like 10 minutes ago. What we're going to do is I'm going to give it to Kyle and to Andrew to explain where we were, where we are today, and where we're going. I wanted to just bring up a couple of points, and Andrew may give me better information, but we've had over 200,000 man-hours into this building. Is that roughly?
Yeah, just over 400,000.
400,000 man-hour? Okay. So that's the report that you were sending me an hour ago that I was going to look at. Obviously, multiple deliveries of materials from different parts of the Northeast, and outside of that, as we talked about, we were trying to locally source most of the material. I just want to take a few minutes to tell you that since the school ended, we've recycled the majority of the furniture that was left in the school that wasn't being brought over. We're getting that information shortly where it landed, but we understand the majority of that school desks, chairs, cafeteria tables, and some other items is making its way to a school in Jamaica right now. After that, we also have started to and now completed all the moves for the teachers. All their materials have been moved over to the new high school. About a week and a half ago, we started to bring in all the new furniture and disperse it throughout the school. So we're pretty much about 95% complete with that. We have some small items that are being brought in and should be completed by the middle of next week. Technology and communications is ongoing. It's tricky when you have multiple vendors, but we are making headway, and we are livening up systems as we go. We did get our what we call the temporary certificate of occupancy about 2 weeks ago, roughly, Kyle. And last week, we moved in counseling and administration, and they're getting themselves unpacked and ready for the upcoming school year. And in the next few weeks, we are having tours being done by the students of Stoughton High School. Kyle and Andrew actually trained about 40 students, was it?
55.
55 students to do tours. So we'll have those as part of the ribbon cutting. We'll have tours in the afternoon after the ribbon cutting from 1 to 7 for the community. But in the next couple of weeks, we'll have tours for all the students coming in and staff. Slowly, the staff has been coming in to unpack their boxes. In general, I think they're all very happy and surprised at the quality of the work that's been done there. So at this point, I want to turn it over to Kyle and Andrew, and they can speak of the construction. Andrew will speak a bit about the budgetary end of it from the construction side. I'll wrap up a little bit at the end in regards to the entire project budget.
Thanks, Don. So some project milestones that we've had in the past 2 years. We started with the groundbreaking on June 15th of 2017. Our foundations for the project started on September 5th of 2017. Our topping off ceremony, our last piece of steel that was erected on the building structure, was May 11th of 2018. As Don mentioned, our substantial completion and certificate of occupancy, substantial completion was July 11th and certificate of occupancy was July 25th. Upcoming milestones, so we're obviously turning this beautiful building over, but we're starting on phase 2 of the project, which is the abatement and demo of the existing school and the construction of the football and soccer field. So some upcoming milestones. The abatement start is August 12th, so that's actually next Monday. The demolition start is scheduled for October 14th of this year. Demolition complete by December 27th, and then phase 2 complete July 25th of 2020. And we'll kind of get through some logistics slides in a little bit as to what that phase, the second phase, kind of shows.
And just to highlight a couple, financials on the project. We first started this project at. No, I'm not as loud as Kyle. I'm sorry. Just to talk about a couple financials. This project started over $93,710,552. Since then, we've gone just over $2 million in changes, bringing our total to just over $95,700,000. Luckily, this month we were able to provide a credit change order to the town for $6,000. So it's going to lower the final GMP a little bit this month. But one other item that we have is CM contingency for the project, where we held a little pile of contingency just in case of any emergencies or unprocured scopes or miscellaneous items. And we've used approximately $1.5 million of the original $1.9 million. So we have about $390,000 left. So we're in a good spot with that. And then just this month, we're requisitioning. So far, we've billed $79 million, or we've completed $79 million worth of work.
Just keep it away from the electric.
I just wanted to quickly mention that we're at construction-wise, we're at 78% of the overall project. So we still have phase 2, but of that, the actual construction of the building itself, we're at, pretty much at 100%, almost 100%. So I'll let Kyle jump in now.
Yep, so I'm just going to flip to actually the next slide just to kind of show you guys. This is a finished rendering of what the main entrance to the school is going to look like. Unfortunately, for this phase, we can't complete all of that work because of where the existing building footprint is. So flipping back, this is an actual shot taken today of what you'll see for the ribbon cutting ceremony of the main entrance. So you can see some asphalt walkways coming in. That road that's along the red fence there has a center divider line. That's for parent drop-off coming in off of Adams Street. And we have actually a couple slides that'll show that a little bit better. But this is ultimately what the finished product will look like for the next 6 to 7 months. until we can get the existing high school down and construct the new main entrance off of Pearl Street.
And just to kind of show where we've come from and where we were, back the first photo we have is from December of 2018, and in this short period of time, we've turned, structural steel into, 100% finishes. So this is the main lobby looking west of the building, where it has, the large amount of light that comes in, the architectural handrails. This is ends up being a magnificent space from what it has come from. And the same, this is just looking the opposite direction, but still it shows, the vast amount of work that has gone through in a limited amount of time. Just about 11 months it's taken from the structural steel to the finishes that we see late last week.
Now, we're looking at, if you go back, that is the second level we're looking at.
And then this is just when you walk in the main entrance, where Kyle was showing you before. You walk into this grand, opening, grand entrance, and you have, it really opens up, the whole building.
Yeah, so you get the grand stairway going up on the left. You have another grand stairwell on the far end. So we're standing where the parents and students will be dropped off. On the far end of that entryway is where the bus traffic will be dropping students off. And then it's just some exterior shots coming up. So this is when you pull in to the job site from Adams Street. This was on June 7th of 2018. That is the gymnasium and fitness area of the building. That's the southeast corner. And then you can see on August 2nd with the facade complete what the final building kind of looks like there. Building C, so this is on the opposite corner of the building. This is the northwest corner. Mainly 3 stories of classroom spaces. So you can see March 22nd of 2018 was just a structural steel shell with no concrete decks or any exterior framing. And then August 2nd of this year, you can see the finished product there.
And just to see here, this is one of the highlight spaces of the project is the auditorium. And in 14 months, we went from not having any walls and barely having any structural steel to being a top-of-the-line performance theater for the whole school and the whole town.
Yep.
It's really come together.
You may want to point out the clouds and how the clouds work there, and where you can almost see the catwalk if you pointed it out.
This is standing at the back of the auditorium looking down, so you have a little bit steeper tiered seating, and then it kind of levels out on the lower section there. You're looking at the stage on the furthest point of the photo. And then if you look at the ceiling, as Dom was talking about, there's these curved theatrical kind of radius clouds that help with sound in that auditorium. And then above the clouds, there are 2 theatrical catwalks. And there's also another theatrical catwalk above the stage also. So it's a really, really nice space. And then this is just kind of one of my favorite photos. It's kind of one of the simpler ones, but that's the corner of B building, the northeast corner. You can see foundations are in, and there is no structural steel up on November 7th. This is where the old football field used to be, and track. And then on August 2nd, you can see obviously a finished building there. So. And then we didn't have any before photos of the gym, but this is just the finished gym. So again, state-of-the-art space. We were able to retrieve all the banners from the old school, get them fire treated and get them hung in this gym. It's got motorized bleachers. It can house the whole school. I mean, it's a really, really nice space. It's striped for a bunch of different variations of basketball games as well as volleyball.
I think the total capacity is 1,200, right?
Right.
And there's an additional 270 seats if you put seats on the floor.
So this is what we call back to school in September, what the town and staff and students and faculty is going to really be kind of looking at. Tough to see on the screen, the handouts may be a little bit better, but just kind of going through what some of the arrows are on the screen. So the first entrance off of, once you turn onto Adams Street off of Pearl, those green arrows, that's your parent drop-off for the students. So they come in at the main entrance, east side of the building. They have a lot of queuing space to get off the road, off of Adams Street and onto the job site. And then they're going to exit the site and turn left and return back to Adams. The buses come in on the kind of southwestern corner of the site. and they drop off and they're able to queue up in the afternoon and tie into the middle school as they do now on the existing access road. And then there is obviously ample parking. So with this logistics plan, there is just as many spaces. I believe there's actually a couple extra from what the existing high school has for parking. So there's no shortage of parking spaces from what the school is going from last year to what they're coming back to in the fall. We finished all the landscaping. As you can see, we'll be finishing the last of it in the fall. Some of the last minute seating and whatnot. Everything has been striped and swept clean and ready for the students to head back to school in the fall. And then you can also see what we're taking for the second phase of the job. So that's the brown area that's fenced in. So we're basically taking, and if you've driven by the site, you'd see the red fence along Pearl Street, but we've got pretty much the entire length of Pearl Street fenced off. It goes down along the old access road by the fields and loops around by the existing middle school, and then kind of heads south towards the existing school and loops around the site to kind of close that off. Basically, just to start construction of the football field, soccer field, and then demo of the existing school. So this is a little animation that we put together. It'll be on loop if you guys want to watch it again, but it basically just shows how the traffic is coming in and out of the site. So you can see some cars on the right-hand side of the screen, some yellow buses on the left-hand side of the screen, and some parked cars kind of mixed in throughout. So that's the main entrance there. You can see parent cars kind of coming in and looping around, and you'll see that as the video closes up. So you see school buses coming in and dropping off on the west side of the building. And then you can see an intersection there where you've got the school buses and the parents crossing, where we've got plenty of signage and line striping there, and the parents exiting back out onto Adams Street to try and avoid any commingling of traffic between the middle school traffic and the high school traffic. And then just kind of in closing, this is our final logistics plan, if you will. This shows the finished product. So this shows the entrance off of Pearl Street, coming in around the new football field. You see the new tennis courts where the existing Adams Street lot is. You see parking between those athletic spaces and the new building. And then you also see the new soccer field and track that's going in. And then obviously all the landscaping finished up. This does not do the landscape plan justice. It's going to be a very nice space once it's all done. So I think that was it. If anybody's got any questions for us.
Just to finalize that the overall project budget, we had obviously contingencies from the construction budget. We're still maintaining a very solid contingency on the overall project budget. Always hesitant about projecting savings right now until the building comes down, because there's always a surprise, and so, but I feel very comfortable going forward. The other thing which Kyle had brought up is that we are starting to disconnect the utilities into the old building. We will maintain the electrical for a short time so that the abatement can continue with power.
Correct.
And we've talked to the utility companies. They're working hard on that with us. I think gas was taken care of today,
Yep,
and water.
Water was disconnected yesterday from the building. Gas, Columbia was on site today. They'll be on site through the rest of the week, disconnecting the various gas services that tie into the existing school. And then, as Dom said, for safety reasons, we'll be killing power to the entire school, but leaving very select areas on throughout the abatement process. And
So we'll be going through a process, and I've been asked on social media about how we protect. There is a protocol on how we keep areas isolated, abated, and then signed off by the industrial hygienist to make safe. So not only for the community, but for our workers going forward. And then eventually, the building will be cleared. I think you're going to be phasing the construction, the demolition as we get cleared areas, right?
Correct. So we're starting with the existing building, or the 1920 building, Building A, and we're working our way into the structure, heading our way south, just because the largest laydown area is at the north side of the site in that existing parking lot.
That's correct. With that, I thank you, and we'll take questions.
Thank you very much. Anybody have questions? Joe?
Just a simple one. You went on about the the landscaping, and this is, people have asked me, is there any chance that the trees that are in front of the old high school now are going to be used on-site?
One of the trees is the larger tree on Pearl by that main entryway is being saved. So that will be salvaged. That is going to be protected during demolition and all the site work.
All right, 'cause there were just, and again, I'm just passing on what other people have asked. If there was any chance of if there's one that's salvageable as well, to be put down to Faxon Veterans Park. And there's a group that would take care of that.
We found that some, some people have attachments to certain landscape, and I understand that, but to transfer, it would obviously be difficult, not difficult, but sometimes it destroys the tree, and we know the calipers of certain trees, so we are taking some into consideration. I think there's 2 in the inner courtyard that we're just going to replace with the same size caliper trees.
Okay.
So, but we will look at some of the
Well,
landscaping.
these people said they would go up, if it was taken out and put there, they would take it from there. It's not like they were asking for anybody to do it for them. It was a couple of veterans that they said they would make sure that it got done if the tree could be, if it was worth trying to save it, that's all.
Be tough because they usually get shocked.
Yeah,
That's a problem. So,
Okay, I
but
just
we'll
wanted to ask it, as I was asked to.
And to be honest with you, I have to talk to Joyce Husseini, the facilities director, but they may be saving some of the plantings for other schools too, by what used to be the entrance to your auditorium.
Okay, great.
Mr. Sullivan? Ms. Howe?
Dom, could you just give a quick update on the district offices project? I'm
Sure.
not sure if 6 months ago we were,
Seems so long ago,
Yeah.
Christine. I'm
Thanks.
sorry. As you recall, that we did, as part of this project, relocate the district office. It was done in a phased process, not through Consigli. We priced that and bid it out to a different contractor, sort of a separate, as a standalone process. The construction was completed last fall, thereabouts, and we did a phased move for the business office back in December. I believe the finance office, the business office in December. I think the SPED department was moved over in February, and then the district office by April. They've been in pretty much in the building since May, all full. Seem very happy with their spaces so far. We've had a couple of glitches with air conditioning, not unusual the first time through when you've newly built, but that has been taken care of. Seem also very happy with their conference room there, so I think we've managed to give them more than the space they had before, and a better laid out space. So, any specific questions, Christine, though?
thank you.
So that has been complete. In the budget, we carried an amount. We didn't spend all that amount, and we've moved that amount down to another line item to aid in the budget. So,
Thanks.
Mr. Cavey?
No questions. Thank you very much.
Well, I want to thank you very much for all you're doing. Can I ask if it's possible that you send an electronic copy of your presentation and
We
we'll get
will,
it up on the
yes, we
website
will.
so people can see it?
and we invite you and the public to join us on the 26th for the ribbon cutting at 10:30. And if you can't make the ribbon cutting, please come and enjoy the tours that the students are going to be providing. I think it doesn't do justice those pictures. You have to see the facility. I think obviously we're proud. We're in our industry. I've been in almost 40 years now. For us, it's a legacy that we leave behind. But for you all, it's this is the future. So please come and enjoy. Thank you.
And in the new building, you've made sure everybody gets straight A's, right?
You'll have to talk to Principal Miller.
Oh, okay. Thank you again.